The crypto market is unraveling. FTX has been that tie that's kind of been pulled, and all of it is starting to fall to the ground. And the more we're finding out, the more corrupt that we're seeing everything was. And now there's a lot of people out there who were very anti-regulation. Now they want regulation. So we're going to watch a clip here of Dave Portnoy on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. See what he has to say.
Dave Portnoy is a sports guy. He's obviously the founder of Barstool Sports, sports media giant, online gambling giant, also an investor. He joins us on set now to assess. So that's really the question. Thank you, Dave, for coming. That's really the question.
Investor.
You are, I don't know how I would describe your investing, but it's something you do on the side.
I would. Here's how I would describe Dave Portnoy's investing. Throw a bunch of money at something and hope that it goes up, and then claim that you're better than Warren Buffett. And when it all falls apart, blame the suits.
You're not like a trained expert.
Yeah, FTX was an advertiser of ours.
Exactly, but you're an enthusiast. What, I mean, was this obvious to you that there was something weird going on?
No, I don't know how it could be obvious to anybody, a normal citizen. I mean,
so I will agree with what he said there. As far as the FTX goes, it's not obvious to a normal person. I agree with that. What is obvious, to me at least, I was talking about this with my mom last night. I'm like, Mom, it doesn't register in my brain how somebody can look at crypto in general. It doesn't matter, FTX, Bitcoin, this coin, that coin, and say, yes, this is a reasonable place to put my money. It just doesn't, I can't compute it in my mind. It doesn't make sense to me. So for that reason, I think that people should have been skeptical about it. It's not necessarily just being FTX.
if you see Tom Brady pitching FTX on the Super Bowl, you're probably going to believe it's a legitimate thing.
And when you see people like Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, whomever out there that's pitching these things, to me, I instantly go, well, wait a second here. Just because, and what credibility do they have except for collecting a check?
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. As the stories have come out in crypto, I'm not paying a ton of attention. There was articles, I think CoinDesk wrote it. The thing that's shocking to me, and I'm in the gambling field, where
it is a gamble.
Regulated. Like, they know what I did 20
crypto
years
is a gamble.
ago.
Yes.
Everything. If I do one thing weird, I hear about it. There's companies writing articles. We knew this guy was in the Bahamas. Why? Because it's unregulated, living in base.
Okay, so the fact that he's in... Everything to me that has been bothering me over the last 2 weeks comes back to this regulation thing. You people, and there's probably a lot of you watching this that really don't like me right now, that love crypto or lost a lot of money on crypto, and frankly, I don't feel bad for you. You should not want regulation at this point. Just because everything falls apart doesn't mean that you say, oh, now I like the Fed. Now I like the SEC. No, crypto is supposed to be the place that there's no regulation. This is what you wanted. Don't bitch about it now and say we can't. Now we need it just because everything went awry and you lost a lot of money. That's on you. You should stick to your guns and say, no, Bitcoin is now at 16,000. I don't actually know what it's at. Well, if it's 69,000, it was a really good deal to you. You should be buying the heck out of it right here and saying no regulation. Just because it fell, just because it's down here doesn't mean it's a bad deal now, according to you. Doesn't make any sense.
Basically, a Paula Morris penthouse with like 20 people who are all having sex with each other, running this, and it was well known. I mean, if somebody did that in the United States, and meanwhile, he's cavorting with politicians at the highest level of government.
Both sides of the aisle.
He wasn't investigated, to me, just shows what a lot of this country is all about. People are just trying to make money. They're being dishonest. They're saying the right things to make money.
And that's exactly what crypto is. Everybody in this country is trying to make money. Everybody's trying to get rich quick. And that's what crypto is. And that's the avenue that it's not going to change. And if they start regulating it, it's not going to change. The only time it's going to change is if the federal government takes it over.
And he's lining everybody's pockets. It wasn't obvious to me. But if you're meeting with Gensler and you're meeting with politicians, I don't know how in a million years they didn't know that. It was pretty obvious. It wasn't a welcome.
Because nobody,
looking for it.
They're a big exchange. They have a lot of money. It's an industry where there was so much money flying through there. What would give you the reason to go and open their books? And even if you do open their books, there's no track record. There's absolutely no track record in there. The only reason that anybody found a flaw in this was that CZ over at Binance, because he knew exactly what to look for because everything was falling apart. Outside of that, nobody really knew what to pay attention to.
But once you start going back, it's like, holy cow, how did they not know this? Again, contrast
there's no regulation
with like what I go through because people don't like me, and it's night and day. I mean, it really is quite stark. So No, not a normal person who is investing whatever. No, Steph Curry, Tom Brady. It's the Miami Arena down here is FTX. A normal person got taken advantage of, basically. Right. And where's the government? For example,
where's the government?
Offshore
now
casino,
we want the government.
They can't advertise in the Super Bowl. We can't take money from them. That's all illegal.
It's illegal because there's rules on the books. You don't want rules on the books as crypto investors. That's the difference.
Legal. Why was FTX legal? Why could they advertise? Who's regulating that? That to me is where the real big problem is.
It's amazing,
because
Tim.
The guy is spending millions,
literally
and
amazing
millions
to
of
me.
dollars to grease the right wheel.
I love Portnoy, but the total 180, the total 180 of being anti-suits, anti-Wall Street, anti-SEC, anti-government. We are going to start our own currency. This is unregulated. That you could do whatever you want to do with this money. And now, well, where's the government? We got screwed. Well, you didn't want the government.
It also seems like now that it's failed in this spectacular way, that failure will be used as a justification for massive regulation.
100%. And you mentioned it. He was the guy supposedly helping craft the regulation for future crypto, which is insane. Are you looking at his background at all to do that? It will be, because what you said, money wants to control the money. And if you do crypto right, I think in the long term, this will be good for Bitcoin, but it's hard to control. So I think a lot of people, politicians, whatever.
You know who the biggest winner of all of this was? Well, two winners. Movie producers and book writers, and number two, the federal government. They didn't have to be the bad guy to go in there and say, "Hey, we're gonna regulate the heck out of you guys." No, they let the pieces fall, intentional or not. Everything fell apart, and now they're begging them. They're on their knees saying, "Come and regulate for us. Come and regulate for us." The government got away scot-free here, but the Netflix series is going to be even better.
Look at this guy. Hey. If we partner up with him, we can make sure we have our hands in the pie and kind of control what's going on. Also, side note, these politicians who are deleting the photos with them, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. What, you think people don't know you took a photo with them? You delete them? It's out there.
And all these YouTubers that have taken down all their videos singing the praises of Sam Bankman-Fried. I will say this. CNBC of Jim Crater saying that Sam Bankman-Fried is the next JP Morgan. They have not taken that down, so props to you guys for that.
How hard is it to control photos once they're on the internet, Dave?
They're gone. I mean, listen, nobody knows more than me.
Nobody knows he's had multiple sex tapes out there that he's had to defend.
I looked at what this guy was doing. It's like, I can't walk down the
Actually,
street
he
if I
doesn't
hold a
defend him
girl's
very
hand.
much. He just says it is what it is.
This guy's... It's like a X-rated movie out in the Bahamas, and nobody cared. It's like, what are you doing? And I don't care about Judge, but nobody looked into it. They're just looking the other way, taking pictures, taking his money. He's, like you said, the number 2 donor for the Democrats. Not one word, not one peep. And to be honest, if this didn't fall apart, if the Binance guy, who's a savage, didn't do this rumor and probably create the run, nobody would ever know.
Exactly.
He'd be the altruistic guy.
Exactly. And that's why I think that there's a lot more to come. This is not the end. People are saying that this is the end. Now that FTX has figured out this is the end. Well, you probably thought that Voyager was the end too. And Sam Bankman-Fried was going in there and he was supposed to be the adult in the room back in June and July. And you could see he's not. Now it's supposed to be the CZ guy. We'll see what it comes out of Binance. We'll see what comes out of Coinbase. Who knows? Robinhood, Square. Who knows what's going on? Or Block Technology or whatever it's called now. But there's a lot of layers here. And because there's no regulation in the space, you don't know what's coming next.
Nobody's altruistic. All the crap everybody says, whether you're a politician, is for power, money most of the time. People want to get rich. And I trust the guys, weirdly like me, it is me. I want to make money. I want to spend money. I want to have a great life. This guy want to make money, give it away. No, you weren't. He took a loan for himself. He was paying for the penthouse through the company money. He was doing whatever he wanted, and nobody.
They literally.
2 seconds.
FTX literally created their own crypto coin called FTT to fund. They were using a fraud to fraud their fund to fund their fraud.
He was the least charming guy I've ever spoken. No, there wasn't like, oh my God, this guy's some sort of genius. Maybe he arbitrated.
I didn't see any charm. I thought he was a little rat boy.
MIT degree to make some money, but he wasn't some charming guy who charmed the pants off people. He couldn't charm anybody. You know how he charmed them? With his wallet, money, donations, and they looked the other way. There is no other explanation for that. I'm far more charming in a one-on-one sit-down than he is, and you know what?
Exactly
I
right.
end up at the blunt end of a hit piece every 2 weeks. That's because I'm not writing checks.
Do you think, I mean, I guess it's unknowable, but just having watched this for a while.
That's true.
Will we ever really get
That's
to
true.
the bottom of what happened?
No. I mean, listen, they say that he had this research firm, they loaned all the money, and then the Binance guy,
and you know why you won't? There's no regulation. There's so much of the puzzle that can be deleted, can be taken away. You're never going to get to the bottom of everything that happened. It's absolutely impossible because so much can be wiped away. There doesn't have to be a trail for anything. That's exactly why you're never going to get to the bottom of this.
Listen, they say that he had this research firm, they loaned all the money, and then the Binance guy, CZ Binance, whatever his name, they were competitors. And it's all crypto, some of it's magic, but I don't know that we'll truly know what happened because there's a lot of big players who probably lost a lot of money. I mean, the bankruptcy today, what they released is crazy, what they're spending money on. But who knows? I never think we'll know anything. I don't want to be some conspiracy debate when there's big money involved.
It's not possible to know. There's no regulation. There's no paper.
Like, I mean, honestly, how can
Trail.
Gensler sit down with a guy who is living in a penthouse in the Bahamas with 15 people who are all having sex with each other, spending money on everything, and he's like, yeah, we're going to write the legislation with you. I mean, honestly. How is that possible? I can't tie my shoe. This guy's
Oh
doing
my
that
God!
and like,
If this isn't
White House,
government at
let's
its
sit down
finest,
and, you know,
I don't
make
know
some
what is.
legislation.
This is
It's
fantastic.
insane.
You need to spread some donations around,
This
Dave
is
Portnoy.
fantastic.
That's my call Maxine Waters and fund your next campaign. Dave Portnoy, what a great explanation. Thank you very much.
So you know what's funny about all of that in the end? This is just absolutely laughable. Do you ever? This is absolutely laughable, and it's a joke. And this sounds bad. I said it on the morning show. I don't care if you lost money in this. That's your own problem. There have been many people for a long time telling you should not be doing dumb stuff like this, guys. There is no such thing as getting rich quick. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. You can't go in and trust this kind of fugazi. It's make-believe. It's literally make-believe. And you know when it won't be make-believe? When the federal government takes over it. And I probably upset some of you by saying a lot of this, and I'm not sorry. So subscribe to the channel. See ya.